So, folks, I wanted to talk about the fact that Google is in the process of killing its golden goose. And we've known this for a long time, like we've known that Google has been tweaking its search algorithm, its how it presents search results, etc. Like everyone has noticed the AI overview that is seemingly inescapable, and they announced one of the ways that they are going to be evolving Google search is to simply remove the links to anything from Google search. Here's a video example they released showing how this will work, right? So instead you ask Google, you could do an image search or whatever, and help me find a similar dress but in this color scheme and under $150. And then it just, like, it does the AI thing. It's just, what if our entire product was just AI overview and you had no choice to go back to how it was? Because they think that a major selling point of their new search engine is going to be that it's conversational. They're billing it as conversational search. So instead of having like typing in a search parameter or anything like that, instead you can have a conversation with an AI agent and the agent will fetch your search results. It's genuinely maybe one of the worst ideas I've ever seen in my life. You know, time to invest into DuckDuckGo. Unironically, like, time to like switch over your shit to like other search engines, because like you might have a lot of your uh stuff on Google or Google related services, but like it might be time to start migrating some of that stuff, because like we're going to get into some of the longer term effects of something like this, but just in the short term, AI overview frequently gives incorrect information. Like, the AI agents that are going to be employed here aren't going to be doing a good job of getting you accurate information, which is the entire point. The entire point of Google search wasn't like it tells you anything on a whim. The point was that it gives you the most relevant websites that might fit your search parameter. And from there, you take that and you run with it. You do the vetting. You figure out, with your critical thinking skills, with the information that you're able to compile from other websites and cross reference, you figure that out using your own human brain, right? I cannot imagine that this is going to go well, because not only is, of course, this like fully AI powered, but they're relying on AI agents to act on your behalf in a wide variety of different ways. And this, in their mind, this looks like AI agents creating essentially personalized apps for you to like curate parts of your life back at you, like whether it's schedules or whatever. And none of this seems useful or helpful. And also, if something goes wrong with one of these personalized apps and you lose all of your information, or it becomes inaccessible, or it can't communicate with other technology, other calendars, like, you're going to run into a lot of huge problems. I cannot stress enough that not only is this bad for you guys, like the actual user experience is terrible and fraught with inaccuracies, but also it is going to destroy the internet as we know it. Because effectively, the internet as we know it was made much more accessible by the creation of Google search, by the ability to use search engines to find websites that exist out there on the internet and then explore them, learn from them, connect them to other websites, etc. Right? What happens when the main driver of traffic to different websites suddenly stops driving traffic to those websites? Because instead of people going to the website and like the website then getting like ad revenue, right? From like Google Sense or whatever. Instead, this just completely cuts out payments to these websites. And this in turn is going to mean that a whole host of websites that are dependent on advertising revenue are going to stop making any amount of money if people continue to use this. Like, this is something that is going to have immense negative consequences. I want to read this quote from a TechCrunch article here. Search can build custom experiences just for your individual questions, from dynamic layouts, interactive visuals, to persistent and stateful project spaces that you can return to again and again. One of the ways Google is integrating these new capabilities is with generative UI, user interface, where it builds custom widgets and visualizations on the fly in answer to users' search questions. And it's just like, I don't want that. I don't want this like hokey garbage. I want accurate information. The whole point of using Google search results is not so that like an app gets built for you. It's so that you can find accurate information. And what this does is it is going to strangle like any kind of publishing platform, any kind of like content creation platform that people don't already know exists, right? It's going to be very bad. This is designed to fully replace Google search. Now, who knows if they actually go through all the way with this? This is Google's plan as of right now. You know, if there is massive backlash to this, it's possible that they backtrack. I gotta be honest. This all sounds terrible. This sounds insane. I mean, it's literally just slaughtering the golden goose in front of everybody. Hey, maybe we can revive Ask Jeeves. Maybe. I mean, DuckDuckGo is pretty good. They don't collect your user data. That's pretty nice. Capitalism is the ultimate Ouroboros. Well, and that's the thing, right? Because in this case, it's not an Ouroboros. Capitalism relies on the idea that there is an infinite amount of things to consume, like an Ouroboros that continually devours itself, right? Except that's not what's happening here. What's happening is that this is essentially a technology that will just kill the internet as we know it, right? Because there isn't infinite content out there. There's not an infinite number of like useful websites. And instead, what's going to happen is that this type of search engine completely kills independent websites to the point that at some unforeseeable point in time, there is not going to be human-generated content. Because effectively, instead of actually going to websites, people are just going to rely on these AI agents to fetch them data about the website. And I don't know what happens at that point, but like, this isn't sustainable. This isn't a sustainable thing. And I don't know how this technology functions once it reaches that point. I don't know how Google manages to do much of anything unless their plan is very specifically kill the internet and then Google becomes the internet. And that's honestly the only like end game I can see here, because we already know AI overview has driven a not insignificant number of companies into bankruptcy, a not insignificant number of websites into, you know, defunct status. So this is something that is going to have some profound consequences. How are we supposed to Google debunk without Google? The Google debunk was in your heart all along, friend. It was in your heart the entire time. It never stopped. And you need to remember, never stop not stopping, okay? You guys can do this. I believe in you. Yeah, books. Yeah, we can rely on books, guys. Don't worry. We can rely on books. Surely books would never hurt us. Books will always be our friend. Books would never betray us. But Barnes & Noble would. Barnes & Noble CEO back selling AI-written books in stores. Plans to open 60 more stores. So if you want to get some firewood, Barnes & Noble is apparently selling that now to keep yourselves warm during the wintertime. Yeah, so I guess don't buy anything from Barnes & Noble until they backpedal on this egregiously terrible policy. Isn't there a single Kindle Direct author publishing something like 30,000 books per month? Probably. Wouldn't surprise me. Yeah, look, go to your local bookstores, start utilizing your libraries, because you know who's not going to put up for AI-generated garbage books on their shelves? Librarians, all right? Librarians will fight those books tooth and nail, okay? But AI is bleeding into real life. Well, I mean, the goal was always to take over every facet of your existence and commodify all information generated by you. That's the entire purpose of AI. Let no bit of info be uncommodified, you know? God. Anyway, I just can't wrap my head around the idea that someone at Google was just like, hey, what if we killed Google? And everyone around them stood up and clapped. Like it was the brilliantest idea to ever come out of anybody. But that's what happened at Google, and that's what's happening right now. And it has profound implications for all of us and the content you are watching at this very moment. So it's scary. You should be aware of it and start moving to DuckDuckGo, folks.
If you're tech savvy, Cirx is something that plenty of other tech savvy people have been using as well.
I will look into that, Balls Deep 6969, and thank you for the $5 super chat. Very, very grateful to you. Is this an AI Jack? Never. Never. I would say over my dead body, but I know that they've been puppeteering people's dead bodies with AI, and I don't want to jinx that and invite that into my life. I've been, unrelated to anything, I've been kind of cooking up a horror short story based upon AI. Yeah. Like, not using AI, but like based upon the concept of how AI is being used in our world right now. And yeah, I think that honestly, AI as it exists right now really lends itself to horror, and I think we all need to start getting on board that train and understanding that's the direction this is all headed, Puppeteering dead bodies. Yeah, look, they've been using AI to, like, convince people that their dead relatives are still alive or are speaking to them via, spirit science. It's a whole thing, and it sucks, and it's legitimately one of the most perverse things I've ever seen in my life. That is absolutely gross. Yeah, look, I did a video on this a while ago. Yeah, here we go. This is from 1 year ago. This is real, and it was played in court.
Just to be clear for everyone seeing this, I am a version of Chris Pelkey recreated through AI that uses my picture and my voice profile.
This AI-generated avatar of a man who died in a road rage incident in 2021 addressed an Arizona court this month at the sentencing for the man who shot and killed him.
So, hello everybody. Thank you so much for being here today. It means a lot.
The AI version of U.S. Army veteran Christopher Pelkey was used as a victim impact statement at the May 1st sentencing, one of the first such instances in a U.S. courtroom. Pelkey was fatally shot by Gabriel Paul Horcasitas, who was sentenced to 10.5 years in state prison.
To Gabriel Horcasitas, the man who shot me. It is a shame we encountered each other that day in those circumstances. In another life, we probably could have been friends. I believe in forgiveness and in God who forgives. I always have, and I still do.
The statement was written by Pelkey's sister, Stacey Wales, who said she turned to AI after struggling to convey her grief and pain in her own impact statements.
And so I turned to my husband one night and I asked him, I said, Tim, I want you to help me have Chris make his own impact statement at sentencing next week. I know you can do it. I've seen your work.
Wales, her husband, and a family friend who all work in the tech industry created the AI avatar together. but there were hiccups along the way.
AI only has an IQ of about 60 to 65, so it can do some things well, but then it gets pretty stupid on other things. It can't show emotion very well, so to try to have it learn that nuance is challenging, to say the least. AI tried to change his clothes in a couple ways. They put him in a sweater and it doesn't look anything like him, but it's pretty funny to imagine. This is probably the most ridiculous one. It's great comic relief to have AI envision him like this, and that was actually part of the healing process, to see Chris in this fun and funny light, which I know he would absolutely get a kick out of.
This is the best I can ever give you to what I would have looked like if I got the chance to grow old. Scary, huh?
I love that AI. Thank you for that.
Here's Judge Todd Lang of the Maricopa County Superior Court in Arizona.
I feel that that was genuine, that his obvious forgiveness of Mr. Horcasitas reflects the character I heard about today.
Even though the AI avatar was used only at the sentencing and not during trial in front of a jury, some law experts still say the use of generative AI material in court raises ethical concerns because AI is a simulation of reality, not.
Yeah, this is, again, when I say puppeteering the dead, I do literally mean it. Like, people keep, like, trying to resurrect their dead relatives using AI, and I find it deeply disconcerting and deeply wrong and deeply gross. And, like, it's not even an isolated incident, and it's not even being done just in courtrooms. This is a piece from the South China Morning Post, all right? This is from April, about a month ago. China family creates AI clone to comfort elderly mom after only son dies in car accident. Yeah, the AI creation is able to chat with his octogenarian mother online and help her live with the reality of her only child's death. At the beginning of last year, the mother's only child died in a traffic accident. His family hoped to conceal the news from his mother, who's in her 80s and has heart disease. The man's son contacted Zhang, asked him to create a digital twin of his father by providing numerous pictures, videos, and audio recordings of him speaking in his dialect. The creation looked exactly like the dead man and even mimics his habit of leaning forward while speaking. The virtual son talks to the mother every day via video call at a chat app. The mother often urges her son to eat well, wear warm clothes, and pay attention to his personal safety when going out. In reply, the son promises he will follow her advice. He adds that he has to work in another city to earn money and could not return to accompany her. You should call me more often so I know whether you live well or not in another city. I'm missing you so much. I feel so sorry I cannot see you in person, said the mother in one conversation. The son replied, okay, Mom, but I am too busy. I cannot talk to you for a long time. You take care of yourself. When I've made enough money, I will return home to pay my filial piety to you. So far, the mother's not aware that her son is dead. It's grotesque. It is genuinely grotesque. My hot take, I think digital necromancy should be, like, outlawed. Like, if somebody is dead, do not create their likeness in the machine. It's truly monstrous. Tear the data centers down, bro. Yeah, no kidding. Anyway, Google's killing Google search result, but maybe AI will resurrect that too. Maybe we could have just a even shittier AI puppeted version of Google search result after that's dead. Just to have a hall of mirrors going infinitely. So anyway, that's what AI is up to these days. Just killing off useful technologies and impersonating people like some kind of monster out of D&D or fairy tales. Like, it's truly monstrous. Thanks, Jack. I hate it. Yeah, sometimes I gotta be the bearer of bad news every day. Anyway, if you got anything out of this, hit the like button, subscribe, leave a comment. Comments longer than 8 words really do well in the algorithm for whatever reason. And also, let me know your thoughts on digital necromancy. Illegal? Not illegal? What's your verdict? And organize, folks. Organize. Get those AI data centers out of your communities. Join your local Dems. Join your local DSA. All right? Make your Dems more progressive. Make your DSA more effective. If you need help, join our Discord. Reach out to GamerG for help with your local DSA. Reach out to Dragonfly for help with your local Dems. We need to get organized. We need that grassroots power to stop that corporate power, okay? So do that. And last but not least, check out ImogeneOlivia.com, gender euphoric lingerie designed from the ground up for trans femmes, also tested with cis men, cis women, non-binary folks. Go check it out, ImogeneOlivia.com. It's also non-tucking, sexy as hell. Link down in the doobly-doo. Let's keep on going.
Riverboat Jack is coming to town. All the viewers gather round. Twitch and YouTube and swishy streams. All that content is bursting the seams. Politics, gaming, plenty more. Your sense of fashion you'll adore. So grab your stuff and hop aboard. We're going straight to Jack's